I'm outside again for another hike. It's snowing, and I thought I would take a minute before my face starts to freeze to just share some thoughts with you. Over the last few weeks that I've been posting videos, I received a lot of comments on the fact that I'm testing out some gear. And the truth is, I've been hiking and backpacking about 1,200 miles a year for the last 4 years. So my gear is not new. I'm not new to backpacking. I have a lot of experience, but the truth is that even with that experience, things change, gear wears out, conditions change. My longest trip out is nowhere near the 2,000 miles that I'll be hiking for the Appalachian Trail. And so gear that works for 5 to 10 days doesn't necessarily make sense on a thru hike. And so it's important to continue to check in and really figure out what's working at each moment. I've gone through probably 6 companies to try to find the right pants in various styles, and I've owned different tents and landed in a hammocking system, but yet when I was on the Colorado Trail, I brought my tent. So it's really become something that not only am I fascinated in, but I'm continually experimenting with, and I get outside all the time. And so today is just another day out on the trail, and I'm sure that I will learn something today because every day provides that opportunity. Every hike is different, and I sure can't wait to be out there for this through hiking journey. I'm about halfway through my hike, and it's no longer snowing. It's actually warm. So what have I learned so far? Well, I learned that I love these possum gloves. They're medium. My hands are kind of small, but they measured to be a medium. And the problem is they slide down, so I end up with lots of room at the top. I've heard they stretch, so I think a small would have been fine, but I have the medium. So I may even sew the ends down, or I may just leave them because sewing is too much work. Not sure. I mentioned a couple things previously. One was tents. I went through a lot of tents. My first tent was a 2-person MSR Hubba Bubba. It was recommended by my brother, who is a 2015 AT thru hiker, and great advice. He said, you're going to need a 2-person tent. You'll be most comfortable. But he's 6 foot and I'm 5'5". And so I didn't need all that space, and I didn't want to carry the weight. So I moved to Nemo. I tried a couple of their tents, freestanding and also semi-freestanding, and they worked great. But then I got on the ultralight kick and went on a backpacking trip and stumbled into someone who had one of the first Durston X-Mid 1-person tents, and it was still on drop at that time, and I loved it and thought, yeah, this is the way I'm going to go ultralight. So I bought that, and I just have kept it. It's my tent. I love it. It's a trekking pole tent. It doesn't weigh a lot. It's not super ultralight, but it's great, and I used it on the Colorado Trail. As I mentioned, I'm now a hammocker, so that is my main thing. And I settled on a chameleon Dutch wear. It was the first hammock that I wanted. I got it, and I haven't changed it. So that's what I'll be taking on my hike. So what have I learned about pants? Well, I've tried all different brands: Prana, Outdoor Research, Mountain Hardware, REI. I'm sure I could list more and more. What I found with most of those brands is that they're too tight on my legs and they're really baggy in the waist. And so the only brand that fit my shape was Cool. And then I tried a bunch of styles within that brand. So they have a roll-up that they said was quick dry, and it just wasn't. It absorbed water. It took days to dry. They have another one that's zippered off that was, this is going on 6 years ago or so. So it was a heavier weight material, great for winter. But the reality of bringing a heavier weight pant to zip off when it got warmer just didn't make sense. And so I finally moved to, I think it's more of a recent, it's still a roll up and so it doesn't zip off, which is unfortunate. But the material is lighter. It seems a little bit more synthetic, unfortunately, but in that way, it's going to dry much quicker. I don't plan on keeping my pants. That sounds funny, but I have eventually just moved to shorts. If it's anywhere above 45 degrees, I prefer shorts and multiple layers on top. And I don't like hiking in pants, and specifically in the warmer temps, I hate hiking with pants. So after it gets warmer, I'll probably send my pants home and just keep my shorts. But when I do have pants, I prefer the cool brand and that specific, it's a roll-up pant. If they make a zip off, I'll definitely be one of the first to try them. Pretty much done with my hike, and it's still snowing. So what did I learn today? Well, I didn't learn anything new, but I was reminded about a tip that my brother gave me, and that is when you notice something in your body, to stop and fix it right away. When you notice your pack is moving to one side, readjust. When you notice that you might be forming a blister, take off your shoes, check it out. And I'm reminded of that because I have this weird feeling in my toe that maybe I have a hole in my sock. I didn't see it when I was putting my socks on. It might not even be the case, but there's something going on in my left foot. And if I were on my through hike, it would be a time to stop, take off my shoe, and address that. The fact that I'm almost to my car means I'm not going to do that. But it's just a good reminder that if you notice something, now is the time to fix it. The other thing that I am thinking about as I finish my hike and thinking about the subject of sharing and tips is how much I like it. I'm surprised. I've always kind of feared sharing my experience because hiking is individual. You know, what works for one person is not necessarily what's going to work for everyone. And so I've always felt that my experience is just for me. But I think the truth is we can all learn from each other in so many ways. And so if something in this video is helpful, that's fantastic. And if you have questions, just put them in the comments. If you want gear links, anything, I'd be happy to help. One more thing, I learned from you too. So please continue to keep sharing your experiences, your tips, all of that. I read the comments and I greatly appreciate anybody chiming in. And others will learn as well, that read through the comments. Maybe we can expand our knowledge together.